In a busy city full of contrasts, where wealth and poverty intertwine at every corner, a simple encounter between a homeless man and one of the greatest stars of world football would change the fate of both. This is a story of compassion, honesty, and an unlikely destiny that not only transformed the life of one man, but also touched the heart of a global legend. It was an ordinary winter afternoon, with the biting wind blowing through the streets of Lisbon. People hurried through their daily activities, some rushing to get into their cars, others with their eyes fixed on the ground, trying to shield themselves from the cold. In the shadows of the city, a homeless man, wearing tattered clothes and with an unkempt beard, slowly walked along the sidewalk. His name was João, a man who had long since given up on the possibility of changing his situation. João had always been honest. Perhaps the only thing he still held on to was his morality, despite the hardships. He had gotten used to life on the streets, but he had never gotten used to the idea of losing his dignity. He knew that, deep down, even the smallest actions had great significance, especially when it came to being honest and doing the right thing. One afternoon, as João walked through the streets, something unusual happened. Cristiano Ronaldo, the famous football player, was in town for a match and, like any global star, was surrounded by security and admirers. However, as he left a fancy restaurant, Cristiano did not notice that he had dropped his wallet next to the sidewalk amidst the hurried steps of the crowd. What seemed to be just another everyday incident would quickly become a milestone in João's life. He was walking by, as he always did, when something shiny caught his eye. He bent down and, to his surprise, found Cristiano Ronaldo's wallet. João's heart raced. He knew he was facing something significant, a unique chance, something that could somehow change his life. As he opened the wallet to see if there was any identification, he found some credit cards, a considerable amount of cash, and, of course, Cristiano Ronaldo's identification card. Without hesitation, João immediately stood up and looked around, trying to find a way to return the wallet to its owner. He knew that, at that moment, he could choose between something that would personally benefit him or doing the right thing. He understood that, no matter how tempting the opportunity to take the money and disappear was, he could not do that. Honesty had always been his main virtue, and he was not going to abandon it now. Determined to return the wallet, João approached a nearby security guard who was watching the surroundings, and handed him the wallet in the hope that they would find Cristiano to return it to him. The guard, clearly not believing what was happening, looked at João with a surprised expression. He asked, "You're returning this?" almost incredulously. João, with a firm look, replied, "Yes. I found it, and the right thing to do is to return it." A few minutes later, the guard called Ronaldo's team, and in the blink of an eye, João's story was in the hands of Cristiano Ronaldo himself. What happened next was something no one could have predicted. Cristiano, who had just left the restaurant, was informed about the incident. Without wasting any time, he approached the spot where João was, surrounded by curious onlookers observing the situation. Cristiano, accompanied by his security team, approached João, and upon seeing him for the first time, felt something he could not describe. The sincerity in João's eyes, his humble demeanor, and his act of honesty touched the player's heart. "I don't know what to say," Cristiano said with a genuine smile. "You did something that many people, with everything they have, wouldn't do. You are an example of honesty." João, speechless, simply looked at Cristiano, aware that this moment was special, something he never imagined he would experience. And what happened next was something that would change João's life forever. Cristiano, moved by João's gesture, did something few would imagine. He asked his security team to take him to the best restaurant in the city, where he and João could talk. There, while they dined, Cristiano asked a question that would alter the course of João's life. "João, why did you do this? I know you could have taken the wallet and no one would have found out," Cristiano asked, sincerity in his voice. João, with shining eyes, replied, "I know the money could change my life, But to me, my honesty is what defines me. If I can't trust myself, what else do I have? Life can be hard, but there are things we must never lose. Cristiano was silent for a moment, amazed by the depth of João's words. He knew this was a rare person, someone who, despite the adversities, never gave up on his beliefs and values. After dinner, Cristiano made a proposal that no one could foresee. He offered João a job in one of his social initiatives, but Cristiano's offer was not limited to just a job. He would also help João find a place to live and rebuild his life with dignity. João, with tears in his eyes, accepted the offer with a heart full of gratitude. He knew that this opportunity was unique and that through it, he could finally leave behind the life on the streets and begin a new journey. Months passed since that day. João, now employed and with a new home, reflected on everything that had happened. The life he once knew seemed so distant, and the man who once sought shelter in the shadows now lived with purpose and hope. He became an example for many. His story touched the hearts of thousands of people around the world, and João began to speak about the importance of honesty and faith, even in the most difficult situations. He shared his journey of transformation and how a simple act of kindness could change not just one life, but also the destiny of everyone involved. Cristiano Ronaldo continued to be a source of inspiration for João, and together they worked on projects to help those experiencing homelessness, promoting social inclusion and offering new opportunities for those who, like João, once believed that life had no way out. Now we want to know from you, what would you do if you were in João's place? Sometimes a simple act of honesty can change the course of our lives and the life of another person. Don't underestimate the power of a good example. If you enjoyed this story, share it with your friends and inspire others to do the right thing, regardless of the circumstances. Subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications for more exciting stories that can transform your view of the world. Let's spread kindness and hope together.